already know how to access the key and the value of the dictionary. The dictionary dot items method. If you call items method with the dictionary name, it will return both key and value, so that we can access. It will first in the first iteration it will retrieve the first key and value, so it will be printed. In the second, okay, the output is shown. It will be okay. In the second case, it will be printed. Okay, so it will be work like this. Then there is no difference here. Instead of putting data, I have see here this. So instead of putting data, I used here for loop to retrieve and items method to retrieve each key and value of the dictionary method. Okay, there is no difference here. Then we will move on to the topic of example for immutable. That is example for passing immutable argument. You already know what is immutable. We can't modify the value. Suppose if you are trying to modify the value which is not updated in the original memory location, which will be stored in the new memory address. That is the concept of immutable. Here I am calling the function. Okay, so it is you already know what is the a value, which is 10. So here I am function definitions I have written. I have written the function. Sorry, I have written the function here. It will. I will delete here. So function definitions I have written here. So in the function, I am trying to modify the value of the global variable. Okay, I am trying to modify the value of the global variable, but the global variable a, it is a global variable a contain the value of 10. When you are trying to modify the immutable data type, that is not updated in the global address, it will be so it is inside the function. So the new variable a is created. Okay, it point to some other location. In the new location only the 15 is actually the 15 is in the new location. That is a concept of immutable. So here when you are inside the function, this a is local to this function, so it will print 15 here. Okay, when you are using the statement, the a will be print 15, but when you are after executing the function, you are coming to the main program. The main program refer the global variable only. Now the a value is 10 only. Okay, so I can't modify the immutable arguments value. Suppose if I want to really, if you want to modify the immutable data type value, means you have to give global, a keyword of global. The global means which will refer the global variable a. So here also I am trying to modify the value of a. In this time it won't create the new value. The updations will be done in the same location itself. Suppose the a contains, see here, suppose the a contain the value the stored in the address of, what is the address? We will assume it is stored in the address of 300. Okay, it means global a means we are instructing the function. Please don't create the new variable. Just refer the global variable only. So here I am trying to do the updations. So the 15 value it is stored in the address of 300 only. So the same location it will update that. So when you are, so here also it will print a is 15. When you are coming out of the function, the global variable also has modified. Since we are passing the address here, we are not passing the duplicate copy, we are passing the original copy itself. So whatever updations I have done here, it will be reflected in the main function also. That is the concept of pass by value. Pass by reference. Pass by reference means I am passing the address of this variable. So whatever changes, that is I am passing the original exam paper in your hand. Whatever changes you have made, that will be reflected in the original paper. Okay, so that the same concept will be followed in the pass by reference, or while you are using the immutable data type with the keyword of global. I have declared so many global variables. See here, A, B, C, all are present in the main program. So it is not inside the function. So all are the considered as a global variable. So if in that case, if you want to access all the global variables within the function, then you have to specify that is you can access all the global variables with the function of globals. Okay, the globals means it will return all the global variables. How many global variables are there? A, B, C. But I want to change here. The X is contain all the global variables. Suppose if I am not mentioning this one, that is if I am not mentioning this, the A within the square bracket means it will return X is contain all global variables, that is A, B, C. But here I am mentioning the A within the square bracket, so it will return only A. So I have retrieved that A global variable, and I am doing the modifications over the global variable. Here the difference is, here I am assigning, so I am inside this function. The function statements are up to this line. I am inside the function. I am trying to modify the value of the here I am assigning the new value to the global variable, but I didn't specify here global keyword. So it will create the new variable A which point to some other location. Suppose the global variable, so I already told global variable address is 300, but here I didn't specify the global keyword, so it won't refer the global variable. Okay, just when I am trying to update the A with the 9, which means it will be stored in the new location 600. Address is 600. Then I am suppose if I want to, without introducing the global keyword, I want to access the global variable means I can update the particular global variable in this manner. The global is a function which return the global variable of A, so that the global variable of A is updated with the 15. So outside the function also the output is 15. See here. Here I am printing first you are calling the function. So before calling the function itself, I am in the main program here. I am printing the ID of A. What is the ID of A? It is 560. Okay, I am going inside and I am accessing the here I am accessing the global variable A. So the ID will be same. Okay, then that's all. In this program, I am going to pass the list. List is a mutable type. So whatever changes you made, that will be reflected in the main program also. Whatever changes you made inside the function, that will be reflected in the main function also. That concept is called as mutable or pass by reference. Okay, so here I am passing the list to the function, and I am going to print how many elements in the list are even, and how many elements I am going to count the number of even elements and the number of odd elements present in the list. For example, here I am creating the list. See here, I am creating the list elements, and I am going to, here it is passing the multiple. What is that? It is passing multiple variable. It return the multiple results. So it will be when you are returning the multiple, it will be considered as a tuple. Here we are unpacking the tuples. Unpacking the tuple means we are retrieving the each element of the tuple, and it will be assigned to the each variable. Okay, so here I am passing. Here I am calling the function. So the control will move to this statement. The execution frame has been created, and first I am initializing the even and odd contains 0. I am accessing the first element. I am checking the first element. What is the first element? 20. 20 divided by modulus operator 2, which will return the remainder. So 20. What is the remainder of 20 divided by 2? Which 0 only. So it is considered as a odd. Okay. Suppose if I am taking 25, the 25 is not not divided by 2, it will return 1 only. So when it is written other than 0, it will be considered as a odd. So odd initially contains 0. 0 plus 1 means 1. Likewise, all the elements we will find out the we are counting the number of elements present in the list, number of even element present in the list, and number of odd element present in the list, and we are in this format we want to print the results. In that case, we are using the dot format, even a dot format. Okay.